who just got there. Like, they changed shifts, so there was a new security guard standing there, and he was watching the scene with the opera music playing, the limo pulling up, and Gary said, "Cut, great," and he looked at the security guard, and he had a tear in his eye. And he was like, "What? You okay?" He's like, "That was really beautiful, Mr. Marshall." Like, security guard, just random guy on the street. And so that's when he knew he had it in him.
After we were shooting a couple hours, we didn't notice this in advance, but the sun on the building created these splats from the fire escape. So it was only there in some of the shots. So after we finished the scene and we saw the dailies, we noticed that some of the close-ups had splats and some of them didn't. So we had to go back a few weeks later and reshoot the ending.
I love that at the end of the movie, you can see that she's deciding what kind of person she wants to be from now on. And I think even though, yeah, the movie has this happy ending where the guy and the girl get together, you also have the sense that Vivian's entire life has been changed for the better, and that she's the one who's making these decisions.
When filming wraps in October of 1989, focus shifts to editing.
Our first cut on the movie, I think it was close to 3 hours. And the movie ended up being a little less than 2 hours. So you can imagine how much we had to trim down. We had tons of montage footage of Julia and Richard that we didn't end up using. We had them, walking through parks together, riding horses together on the day that she tells them they take the day off.
No one is spared, not even Marshall's own son.
I had a big scene where Vivian brings Edward to meet her friends at the Blue Banana. And we're the tough guys. And I had a skateboard with a switchblade that came out of it. The prop guy made it. It was the coolest thing of all time. But it was a great scene, and it just got completely cut out.
We had one wonderful scene that unfortunately was cut.
It must have pained you.
A little bit, because it was a moment. It was a sweet moment that said a lot about the relationship.
So
where it was coming. Oh, the moment was simple. It's near the end where she's got herself together and she's on the way. And he senses it. And she starts walking away, and I say to myself, I call it kick ass, Miss Vivian. Beautiful moment. Gorgeous moment.
When it comes to piecing together multiple takes, Marshall has one rule.
He had this famous saying, he used to say, matching is for sissies.
Matching is for sissies. If it doesn't match, if the performance is there, always go with the performance.
Gary never looked at them as being errors. To him, it was always about the best performance. One of the most famous ones, when they're in the penthouse, the morning that they're eating breakfast, she's eating a croissant through most of the scene, and then all of a sudden she has a pancake in her hand.
And he knew, Gary knew, but it was the better line reading.
Was their look at each other in that take that he wanted, and the way that she said it, and he thought that made the story.
When he takes a day off of work, and we did a whole montage, they're laying in the grass, and Julia takes off Richard's shoes and socks. And then the next cut, Richard has his shoes and socks back on.
I mean, unless something is glaring, you don't notice it so much. He cared most about the comedy. He cared most about the timing of a scene. And to hell with the matching. It just didn't really matter to him.
In November 1989, Julia Roberts' big film, Steel Magnolias, is released.